Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tour of all of my pans in my makeup collection. So I've done this video a couple years in a row and it's just kind of fun to see how things change. So today I have 15 pans to share with you, which I think is a pretty good number. I definitely have a smaller makeup collection than most beauty people on YouTube. I've worked over the last few years to really kind of refine it down to the products that I really love. And I've just really realized how long makeup takes for me to use it up or to hit pan or anything. So I don't need a ton of duplicates necessarily because they're just going to sit until I finish what I'm actually using. So all that to say, let's go ahead and dive in to the pans. I'm going to save eyeshadows for last. Let's do the face products first. So the one that kind of surprised me the most that I had pan on is from e.l.f. This is the Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. I've been using this all year. I absolutely love it. So this is the pan that I have. Hopefully you're seeing that. I can definitely see it when I hold it up to this window. I can see through the bottom, but it's right here in the center. I have been using this as my under eye kind of brightener. I will use it on dark spots that maybe we can see from the bottom. Yeah. So I really like this product. I use it under my eyes. I use it on any kind of areas that are just a little bit darker, whether it's like an acne scar that's healing or something like that. So this has been great. I've hit pan, but there's still a ton of product in here and I use so little of it. I really did not expect to see pan this year. So that was a pleasant surprise. So that's pan number one. Pan number two is not that much of a surprise. This is from Fenty Beauty. It's the Soft Matte Powder Foundation. This is my favorite base product. So I use these up, pretty regularly. This is the current pan I'm working with. So very exciting. This is the shade 120 if you are interested, but I just really love a powder foundation. I feel like it just works well for me year round, especially in the summer. It helps with a little bit of oil control, but even in winter, I just feel like it gives the most kind of natural coverage for me. It's not too much, but it's not nothing, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's pan number two. Pan number three is a bronzer from Milani. This is the bronzer I've been using all year. The lid broke, the hinge or whatever, but this has a ton of pan on it. This has been in my project pan, so I've been working on first I hit pan earlier in the spring and now trying to finish it all the way up. This is a fantastic bronzer if you are fair like me. I definitely suggest it. It's the shade 01 Sunlight, the silky matte bronzing powder. Absolutely love it. So this is one that I expect to finish up probably early in the new year. You know, there's not that much left in here, so that'll be really exciting when that happens. But that's pan number three. Pan number four comes from my Hourglass quad. If you have been following my project pan, this is not a surprise either. So this highlight has quite a bit of pan on it. It has had pan on it. I'm working on finishing it all the way up. So yeah, that is where I'm at with that one. Hitting pan on a highlighter is such a huge success in my books because again, you don't really use a ton of it. So this is literally the only highlighter I've used all year, and I'm really excited to see if I can finish it up. So that was number four. Number five is also from Hourglass. It's a little mini, and this is the lighting powder in Diffused Light. This one has a little bit of a yellowy kind of tone. I use it under my eyes to set down my concealer or anywhere else that I just want a little bit of extra brightness. I find that this actually works really well for me. It could be that I have very fair skin, so just something a little bit lighter than my skin does make it pop, but for me it's great. So this is another pan. I am trying to finish this one up, but again, it's a mini and it just reminds me that I don't need to buy a full size of something like this because I'm only using it in a few places, and this mini has lasted me all year and then some, you know, this is plenty for me to get through. I don't need a huge pan of it. So that is pan number five, and then I have 10 pans with eyeshadows. So if you are new here, I've been doing a pan that palette this year from my ColourPop Z palette. So these are all shades that I pulled from different ColourPop palettes a couple years ago, and these are the ones I saved, and I've been working on panning them. So I have 10 pans in here. Some I hit pan before this year, some I did hit pan this year. I will refer you back to my Pan That Palette finale to hear a little bit more about that, but for today's video, let's look at the shiny pans in here and kind of ooh and ah. So I'll just show you like this first, and then I will show you each of the individual pans. So very satisfying to see some shiny pan in there. But let's go through each of them just for fun. So this first one is from the Wild Nothing palette. It's the shade Top Down. It's this nice kind of peachy matte shade. I use it mostly as a transition shade in my crease. So this one has a good pan on it. Next, I have, let's see here. This is also from the Wild Nothing palette. This is the shade Coastline. This one is kind of like a really unique iridescent shimmery shade. I love it in the inner corner. So that one has a good size pan, but this one I feel like you can see maybe like how deep these are. These are really firmly packed. So ColourPop shades are no joke to try to pan. The next one is the shade Idle Hour from ColourPop Bare Necessities. I know this because I wrote it on the back as a cheat sheet. So this one is like a light gold shimmer. I like it on the lid. So I do have a little pan in there. All right, next is the shade Tease Me, and this comes from the Bare Necessities palette as well. This is one of those ColourPop shades that it's like a matte, but it has sparkles in it, but not like a shimmer. I think this is called like a sequin eyeshadow. So this one I also kind of dug into and then hit pan and moved on, but still have pan nonetheless. All right, then I have the shade Designer Duds. This is also from the Bare Necessities palette. The Bare Necessities palette is one of my favorite palettes. I would say if I were to lose all my makeup and have to go purchase a new palette, that's probably what I would pick because it has something like 30 shades in it. So it's a great like comprehensive palette with warm neutrals. Like it'll get me any look that I could possibly want. So anyway, this is Designer Duds. This one has a nice pan in it. It's also a shimmer shade. I feel like it's easier for me to hit pan on shimmer shades than mattes. This is kind of like a burnt peachy kind of shade. Okay, and then we go into some taupes. So these three are all pretty similar. This one is from the Bare Necessities palette. It's the shade Silk Teddy. It looks like this. So it's just this really like sparkly, almost like metallic lid shade. It's kind of like a pinky taupe on my lids anyway. So there's that one. In a similar vein, I have the Bare Necessities Rumored. So this one's just a little bit deeper, a little bit more gray of a taupe, whereas the other one was a little pinkier. I mean, in the pan they look very similar, but in my eyes I can tell that slight difference. So anyway, this has a little pan in it. And then I also have pan in the shade Snake Eyes, and this is from the That's Taupe palette. I would say this is the most silver of the three, but they all look pretty similar. So another shimmery taupe shade here. Then I have the shade Seashells from the ColourPop Wild Nothing. This is such a unique shade. It is like a icy mint, and I love it because on the lid it actually doesn't look that green. It looks kind of like almost like a gold, so it's very unique. And I have enjoyed this one over the time that I've had it, and I've hit like a good amount of pan. It's not just a little dot, you know. And then the last one in here that has pan is another one from the Wild Nothing. It's the shade No Bounds, and this one I hit pan by using it as a liner. So you can see exactly where I like dug my brush in there. I don't really wear eyeshadow as liner much anymore. I'm just kind of not into that look as much. But for a while, that was how I could use dark shades. So I would wet my brush with setting spray, kind of like dig it in there, and the wetness from the brush and the powder would make almost like a gel type or like a cream. And so then I would paint that on, and it worked lovely. I'm not really into that look right now, so I haven't been doing that. But those are the 10 pans I have in this palette. So those are the 15 pans I have in my collection. I'm definitely curious to see how many I can get for next year when we are a year from now doing this video. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. Would love to hear what pans you have in your collection. Which ones surprised you? Maybe tell me a little bit about that. That'd be fun. Like I said, I was really surprised to see pan in the concealer. I just like did not expect this one to get pan. So that was fun. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.